What is going on, all you Valorant fans, friends, and foes? Still Succulent and last to bring you map 3 of what has been I'm confident enough to use the word confusing. What has been a very confusing series between these two teams. A lot of insane plays, a lot of accidental things happening, and a lot of players really waking up on Ascent there. Laz, what do you think we're going to be seeing moving into Icebox?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think this has been a pretty big confusion point for me. And I mean, now that we're switching things over to Icebox, I mean, again, both these teams are like neck and neck. I mean, I would give that advantage towards DIVIZE actually, because I mean, really, statistically, I mean, they have about a 64% win rate on this map, whereas in comparison for the MALDERS, they're at about a 53. And I mean, they've all played this map on a pretty consistent level. So I mean, really, this could be an opportunity for DIVIZE to maybe pull something through. But again, we've been a little bit incorrect today. I mean, it's just been going everywhere, right? So I mean, when you look at the statistics, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's very difficult to look at a game that even the players aren't really sure what's going on a majority of the time. A lot of back and forth. And I mean, perhaps nobody is seeing clearly. And speaking of clearly, I'm sure you guys are wondering, Succulent, you talk about these glasses for literally 1,000 times all weekend. How much do they cost? Well, clearly gamer glasses with Blue Reflect Plus trademarked blue light filtering lenses. They cost around $180, but they guarantee you super comfort and insane blue light protection. And if you use the code Valorant30, just one word, Valorant, and the number's 30, you can save 30% off your frames at clearly.ca. But the real question is, how clearly are these players going to be seeing in the frozen tundra that is Icebox? Honestly, I have no idea. I only hope we see some more Raze gameplay. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, me too. And I mean, I'm kind of unsure of what we're going to see from both these squads, because I mean, typically what we have seen is like the typical, Sova, Viper, and Sage that is picked from both these teams on a pretty consistent basis.
Right.
Then it kind of flips a little bit where actually I think even DIVIZE used Raze on this map in comparison to where Pro MALDERS have actually used Reyna. So a little bit of a difference. But I mean, it's duelist for duelist, and both obviously can bring a lot to the table. But now we are going to see what gets locked in.
Now, my feelings are already a little bit hurt because we've got 8 players locked in and none of them are on Raze. But I am super excited to see the Sage gameplay on both sides. Playboy Joe going from Cypher to Sage, other than the fact their names begin with the same sound, there's really not a lot that those agents have in common. So Playboy Joe's really going to have to change up that play style. Tech locking in the Jet, that one checks out. And Giovanni currently over the Reyna, I think that really works out, especially because Sim's been on the Reyna, and Reyna is such a feast or famine agent. She really works hard to make sure that her kit works out correctly, but if you don't do well on the Reyna, you can really cripple your team. So we're going to have to see how well Giovanni can really step out to the plate like Sim has.
Yeah, like I definitely agree. Like I think in my opinion, like I would rather have Arena versus a Raze on this map. I mean, especially just with Devour, and then you can have the Leer. There's just so many more useful things in the kit that can be used. Not saying the Razes isn't useful, obviously it is, but I think it's a lot more beneficial on a map like Icebox, and it finally gets locked in, and both these teams are pretty close. I mean, again, it's almost a mere pick, I think. I'm just looking, and yeah, I think it pretty much is.
Yeah, we're looking at a full-blown mirror matchup here. We almost have the girl boss comp on both sides, but there is a Sova to ruin that on both sides as well. So we are going to be jumping over to my little penguin friend until this pistol round begins. There's not really much to analyze, considering everybody has to buy a pistol, but we can talk about how if this was a stuffed animal, I would buy like 10,000 of them, probably. I love him. I think he's very goofy, and he's the real winner of Icebox in my heart.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I mean, now we're going to see who's going to be the real winner of this best of 3. It's all the way down to the last map, semifinals, with Sep and Laz as your hosts here today. And I mean, it's just been a back and forth brawl between both these teams. And now DIVIZE is going to be starting on that defensive side with Pro MALDERS, getting things pretty shaken up here. It's hitting that B site pretty quick.
Yeah, I love the idea of the use of the Viper wall instead of the Sage wall there, because it really lets you shoot through it. It kind of doesn't give away your location or anything of the sort, but Suya will be the first one to go down there. Sim with a great shot on the Sheriff. Here comes Index trying to get one as well. Not really able to find what they're looking for. Pony's going to be able to find that Sheriff kill onto net, but the spike plant does come through. So no matter how the rest of this goes, that is absolutely colossal for Pro MALDERS. They win the round. That's great. They get bonus credits because they came through and were able to plant the spike. This is just going to be a really good start for the Pro MALDERS, and I have to say, honestly, They really picked it up in the middle of Haven. They ended up losing Haven just by the skin of their teeth. Ascent, they came in, they stormed super hard, and I think you talked about this a little bit during the break, Les, is they're really not going to be slowing down at all. We took a break. All they got to do during that break was just discuss what the future plans are going to be in order to succeed here. They're going to go for a full buy in the form of Sim. I mean, this is really going to be an interesting round here with this Vandal online.
Yeah, it really could be. And I mean, now, I mean, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Inox, I mean, we definitely see you. And this is a bit of a stack, right? So, I mean, Pro Malders are kind of running into this mousetrap. And this has been beneficial here for DIVIZE. They've been able to pick up 2 frags already with no trade opportunity for Malders. So now they're going to keep committing to this. I thought they might try to reset, you know, backpedal a little bit. But no, they're going to just try to see. They have the bigger weapons. They think they're going to be able to do something a little bit more. But now they finally take down Inox. The Sage Wall and any of the utilities is going to be depleted for now. But now they're really just waiting things out.
Yeah, and I mean, Tech got full-blown executed. I mean, you didn't even get to blink, and Tech was immediately taken out by that headshot. That was absolutely absurd coming through. Caprage going to be rotating around with Playboy Joe, who, like I said, is from a Sage, a bit of a massive gameplay style difference. No longer on the Cypher, not looking for recon, just looking to heal up and be the support the team might need. DIVIZE have got the one-player advantage right now, 4-3. They've got to be extra careful to make sure they don't give anything away. Net goes, or excuse me, Suya goes for a little bit of recon. It might walk face first into net. It certainly will. That Spectre really coming in handy. 30 seconds left. They're going to have to go for the spike plant here to keep this timer alive.
Yeah, the DIVIZE is doing a great job to really just burning this, though. And I mean, even Pro Malders being very hesitant. They're going to try to go for a little bit of surprise attack. Pony, you can see, was going to maybe try to go for the jumping shot. Terms does get one, but the plant still comes through. But it's down to that 2-on-2. Playboy Joe just going to be the back of Yellow, and even Caprage now going to be going close to his teammates, so they have a good grouping. You're going to be used now from DIVIZE, and it should be 1, should be 2, and Pro Malders, they take it, but it's not with ease.
I've got to say, I think the reason they really had to take that is because they really slowed down. They backpedaled a little bit. They really took it one step at a time rather than kind of blind rushing in, because blind rushing really works for some teams. We saw that earlier with Lemonade Stand, both today and yesterday. They just charge in, and they really don't miss their shots, so it's okay. But for Pro Malders, things started rough. They had to slow it down. They backpedaled a little bit, then they came in slow, calculated, and it really paid off at the end of the day. Pony with a round 3 operator. That is not something anybody's going to be expecting here.
No, and especially as soon as he goes for the shot, they're going to be a little bit surprised, right? Misses the shot, though. No, he doesn't get it, and actually his teammate gets taken down as well, and Sim, he has just been an absolute menace. He's been able to get some great openings for Pro Malders on all 3 of the maps so far.
Yeah, Sim has been, I don't want to say Sim's carrying the team, but they would not be doing nearly as well without a powerhouse like Sim at the ready. Now, Suya finds that kill, gets traded out right away, and Caprage just tears it up. Inix is going to be the next to fall. 4v2 in favor of Pro Malders, and DIVIZE couldn't win a round when they had the numbers advantage. I can only assume this is going to be a very difficult engagement.
This is happening. Terms has to win this engagement. He does. It's him. Look at that. He uses Devour. A little bit of a jiggle. Pony does win it, though. But he's not going to be able to preserve that op. I mean, that would have been really critical, especially for that next round. But, man, Pro Malders, they have just completely come alive ever since they took down that, you know, when they lost. I mean, so now, like, I don't know. I mean, something's changed. They're on the winning mentality.
Yeah, something has certainly changed. They really looked at Haven as a GG go next. Their non-sponsored Gamer Liquid really kicking in, giving them the extra kick in their step here. And Pro Malders up 3-0. They've got an insane weapons advantage on this one. They also have an armor advantage. This is easily PM's round to win.
Poison ore toxins going up.
We're gonna have to see just Sheriff one taps, not even a single missed bullet here from DIVIZE. They want to throw this one around. On the bright side, if you do find a kill, you get to take the weapon. But if you just turn your back and let Tech execute you, then you're really not going to find the advantage you're looking for. Net is able to find Inix. The Blade Storm from Pony here, insanely high risk, high reward. You found 1 kill. You're gonna have to find 4 more to make this round worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate too, because I thought they would have maybe went for the planter,
right?
But they kind of go for that a little bit of an easier frag, I guess. Which, yeah, it's not a bad decision. But I mean, right now for DIVIZE, I mean, they only have 1 shot. It's not even going to be landed, and Net being able to pick up himself a triple. So Pro Malders, deepen the undefeated streak a little bit here. They got the 4-0. And DIVIZE now going to put everything on the board one more time. They got a full amount here. And the barracks ready to go. Op's going to be in the hands here for Pony. We're going to have to see him absolutely come alive. I mean, I talk about how important it is, but it's such a big investment. You need to be able to find those openings. You need to be able to get that pick with it.
Yeah, this has just been a Pro Malders game to take, which is absolutely absurd. This is the fight for grand finals. Like, this is what they've been working toward, waiting for, the opportunity to make this happen. And now, Pro Malders, they have really taken this game by the horns. They are ready to tear DIVIZE up to secure that spot in grand finals.
And now Pro Malders, they're putting a lot of their investment, player investment, going to be towards A. Like, they don't even have a lurk right now. They have somebody that's now going to fall back. That's both the Viper and the Sova. But Giovanni going to get a little bit up close. He's able to win that punch. And look at that Sim. He tries to get him in the back. But no, Giovanni does one even better. And now the res is going to come through. Tech is coming back for a second round at this. He's able to do it safely. He doesn't get taken out. DIVIZE have the slight player advantage, but now an ultimate has been burned from Malders. That's great here for DIVIZE.
I'm really surprised that Sim wasn't res. Nothing against Tech, but like we said already, Sim has been nothing short of an absolute menace so far on every map that we've seen so far. Even Haven, Sim was just out there fragging like an absolute mad lad. But it's going to be that 5v4. DIVIZE does have that one-player advantage with Pro Malders. They have won many rounds when that advantage was not available. Now it's going to be tied up 4-4 Tech. Maybe he got res because this flamethrower was at the ready. Sees somebody in the distance and finds the kill. 3 HP clutch, committing the Viper's Pit as well. Every ultimate is just being used here by the Pro Malders. They're really trying to keep this winning streak alive. Suya does find Playboy Joe in the smoke there.
That's the spike planter.
Spike does fall, but the plant is just inevitable at this point. A Hunter's Fury! Every ultimate available this round has been used.
Yo, man, this is great, though. They've been trying to deny this plan, and they finally get it! Giovanni gets it the last second!
Wait,
so
they
now
win?
they just need to survive! This is now where Pro Malders completely collapse! And DIVIZE sneak that round through! They just abuse the timer! And they pick themselves up their first round!
We talked about patience. We talked about slow style gameplay, and DIVIZE, they found it. They found exactly what they needed. They won that by timing out the clock, killing the spike planter every time they went for the attempt. And that, they still can't commit to a full buy. They've really got to win this round for me to consider them back in this. But if Pro Malders just puts them back in the ground here, I think that round might be able to be written up as a fluke. But if DIVIZE can finally turn this one around, I think we'll see some great successes in the following rounds.
And that might be the fire that DIVIZE really need. I mean, they might be a momentum team because it seems like once they start picking up rounds, that's where things start to work out very well. And look at that. Inox, he uses the Sage Wall, gets a bit of an off angle. He's able to actually take down the one player, which was the ultimate for Pro Malders with the Sova. So, I mean, for them to remove that already, that's great. And now look at that again, going for 2, almost able to get the third. There's no heals available for Malders. So now Tech is down to 30 HP. Does get the ultimate orb as well, so that's a good position. But, I mean, DIVIZE, they have some good control of this round so far.
Yeah, DIVIZE has some great control of this round. I have to agree. We see the Reyna alive on both sides of the Jet as well, but one Jet very clearly with a lot less HP than the other. Giovanni waiting so patiently on the corner, might be able to find both of them! Giovanni puts Net and Tech in the ground. Sim still left alive, but Giovanni does not care. Able to find that 3K DIVIZE. That is the round I think they truly needed to win to be considered back in the swing of things. A couple of them get to hold on to their weapons with the economy. So close to being completely reset here. DIVIZE may have found their footing on Icebox once again.
Yeah, I mean, now they've been able to pick up 2 rounds in a row. If they can pick up this round, this is where, I mean, the money situation for Pro Malders isn't the greatest, but they might be able to have enough for the next round where they could go for like a bit of a force, where they might have to go for light armor. But right now, everything's on the line. They have full armor, full weapons, everything there. And DIVIZE have now been able to get themselves some pretty good control, and you can see Cherms is probably going to be using this Viper's Pit to really isolate A. Now even Suya picks up one, and the Hunter's Fury going to be used. Kepler going to be able to find a great job. Takes down the Sage, but Pony able to find another one. Down to 16, he's spotted. The shoulder's there, and Playboy Joey gets him.
Yeah, Playboy Joe played that cautiously. I think if Pony had gone for the wall bang, that would have at least scared him off. But I guess, you know, Playboy Joe doesn't, or excuse me, they don't exactly have the same X-ray as we do. So they're, you know, a little bit harder to guess where your opponent is if they're not firing on you. Suya's going to be coming through here. Caprage going to be rotating around. B. Suya might be able to, will not be able to find the kill. That Jiggle Peak really able to keep things alive. Oh, the kill! There it is! Net from the high ground picks up 1, maybe 2, but no, Suya will equalize things once again. Sova v Sova, Sage v Viper here. Plant coming through. Playboy Joe will find it, guaranteed additional credits for Pro Malders moving into the next round.
Now Trims has actually put the Viper wall as well, so that's going to block off the positioning here. So now Pro Malders have to commit to this. Recon Bolt, oh no, it's going to be the Shock Bolt. It's going to be used, not going to make any connection, but you're close on by. It's just straight on trades, but it's going to go in favor for DIVIZE. They respond very well with that retake. It looked like Pro Malders had it in the bag, but no, DIVIZE, that Viper's wall, sorry, was pretty much a big critical point for them.
Yeah, I have to agree. The Viper's wall really almost acting as like a faux Cosmic Divide there with no Astra being available. It really split the point. You're not completely sure where your opponents are. Of course, you can fire through it. You can hear through it, unlike the Cosmic Divide. But it created that physical barrier, and that's truly all DIVIZE needed to find their footing there.
All right. So now we got ourselves back in a bit of a tight situation. I mean, I talked about Pro Malders might not having enough money. I mean, look at this. This is kind of that example. Like, most of them have the armor, so they probably kind of avoided getting the extra utility. One player, I believe, had the Spectre, but they're going to commit to this. They're going to hold the W. They're going to hold the gas. Look at how aggressive Pony is. He's able to get one. He's able to get himself out of this. Back to the stables he goes. He misses another shot. But now Stu, you're going to be able to get distracted by the drone, and it works out miraculously here. Sim looks for one, almost able to get himself a second. What on earth is going on?
The fake on that rope was insane. Sim jumped on, immediately turned and jumped back off. He just wanted the sound cue. He just wanted them to think he was going, and it was super smart. We can see that the Jet had absolutely no idea he was about to be around that corner. Pro Malders, they have found their footing once again. Only 2 rounds, excuse me, only 3, oh yeah, okay, only 2 rounds separating these teams from a tie-up, but Pro Malders, they're trying to make that number as large as possible here. They want to win Icebox. They want to secure their spot in Grand Finals.
Yeah, this is it, right? Third map, and the winner of this gets to go to the Grand Finals. So all that extra pressure. And I mean, I think today is one of the first times we had, you know, a game or a best of 3 go the full distance. I know a lot of these teams were able to 2-0 each other, or other teams, sorry, to make themselves into this position. So now, this is a lot of, you know, getting that gas tank, making sure they have everything on the line here. And now it's going to be a little bit of an interesting play here. The Ult Orb's going to go in position for Pony. He's got the ultimate out. He's got the knives out, but Tech able to dash himself. He's not able to dash too long. Going to get taken down now. They have that slight player advantage. They actually neutralize the Jet here for Pro Malders, but look at this. They're already going to be pushing up. They're close towards A. But there's 3 players here, Seth.
Yeah, they're close. They're moving into A. But like you said, there's 3 players available. The Recon Bolt gets you some info, but doing that with a Sheriff isn't exactly going to help. Net doesn't miss the headshot. Terms falls early. Suya does find Sim, so almost an equalizer. Pro Malders still down 1. DIVIZE really desperate to turn this around. They want to be able to find the value that they're looking for on around 9. Yeah. 5-4 is obviously a lot better than 6-3, but with a Marshall and a Dream, Giovanni able to find that first kill, making it even harder for Pro Malders to turn this one around. Pony puts the Garage into the ground, and there it is, the thrifty total win there on the round. DIVIZE only separating themselves 4-5, 1 round away from tying it back up.
I mean, and the thing to note for anybody that may have missed it, I mean, that was both Pony and I believe it was Inox. They actually pushed down long B. They had the Sage Wall so that Pony was able to get that Ult Orb, which got him the Blade Storm, which then got him a triple kill that round. So, I mean, for him to get the ultimate available, pretty much secured them to get that round, especially for him picking up numbers like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was... There's a lot that has been going on here that I really wouldn't expect on both these sides. Net as that top fragger once again. Ascent really was kind of their awakening moment. Pony rocking that operator as many Jets often are expected to do. Completely missed out on Sim there on the high ground. Sim sneaking their way around. Pony not able to find that shot. It will be Net with that opening engagement, but Giovanni does find 1, maybe even 2. Possibly looking for a 3rd as Suya's going to get ready to turn the corner. The spike has been dropped in Net. Critical condition on the high ground. The shock dart not quite able to grab that Jet, but here comes Suya looking to find that final headshot kill. Not quite landing it. Tech finds the kill on Giovanni, tied up 3-3. There it is. Suya picks up 1. Caprage does find Suya. Very low health on both of the players remaining from Pro Malders. 10 HP on the both of them. This is going to be a really tough round to win.
Yeah, and even I mean, the op is really close, right? Like, he's not even able to have a really good position with it. But Terms is able to help him out. Barrage going to be on the top here on top of Oil Rig, so now he might be able to get this, but no, Terms is actually going to be able to do one even better. We have ourselves a tie game. The op is not going to be retrieved here for DIVIZE. Oh, yes, it will. Never mind. I'm a liar, but it comes up very important, right? You need to have that op, especially on this defensive side. It's absolutely critical so you can have your Jet just kind of run around as much as possible and have a shooting gallery.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting because I'm not sure who, but Pony just bought for someone else, which I found really interesting, but I guess they're trying to keep the economy as settled as possible. They know Pony already has a gun, so it makes the most sense for them to spend those credits, but if they lose this round, Pony's not going to be able to buy next.
Get out of my way!
Pony's getting tight. You're going to have to keep their finances in order. And now, a little bit of a different play that we're seeing from Pro Malders. They actually do have Sim that's all the way up into Kitchen. A couple more teammates getting close, and Playboy Joy actually does take down the IGL here for DIVIZE. So, get a little bit of information to get that player advantage. This is where DIVIZE really start to struggle. Yeah. They have to bring it back to that even playing field.
Yep, and that's certainly going to help. Suya is going to find that kill, but the Guardian from Caprage will put Giovanni in the ground. Suya finding Caprage immediately after, so we are back in a 3v3. We see the Sage on the side of Pro Malders. Very low health. The Viper's Pit being commit there from the Pro Malders as well. Looks like they're going to be moving into A. Possibly as a bait, though, because that Sage, she's running through maze right now. No, she's going to go for that full commit plant on A here. 20 HP in a dream. Getting the plant would mean the world for these extra credits, but Suya drops from above and finds the kill, and that does put Suya away, but that's massive. They did prevent... Oh, no, excuse me, the spike plant did go through, so Suya just a couple of seconds late there.
One enemy
That was just there. I mean, if they would have gone a second earlier, it could have been that, and that's a thrifty round that comes through, and Sim just doing Sim things, popping off. But, I mean, if, like I said, if we would have saw that player, I believe that was Suya, if he would have been able to drop just half a second, even a second earlier, that could have switched things around.
Absolutely, that really did make a big difference at the end of the day. Suya and Net tied for top frag in lobby right now, 13 across the board. Caprage sitting up close with 11 of their own, everybody else still in the single digits. So really, this is one of those games where we're watching two players giving it their all, and everybody else gets to participate sometimes. What I'm most surprised, though, Inix, only 4 eliminations so far, really. I mean, not to be harsh, but seeming to underperform here on Icebox.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of noticed that before. I think it was Terms that actually had a bit of quiet in the series, but now it looks like we're having a little bit of a switch here. That's going to come back. This is a good play. Oh, Hunter's Fury is going to be used. Might catch this player off guard. No, he's able to dash himself out. Call him Rudolph. Now they got themselves back to a full player advantage, full kit, but the Reyna is down in the red, so it comes with a big price.
Yeah, you've got the numbers advantage, but just barely. Like you said, now Reyna, she's very low. Now, if she gets an elimination, you can obviously pick up even an assist. You can use your orb, and you can kind of heal yourself back up a little bit. Suya does find the kill, 5v3 now. Inix picks up Caprage. DIVIZE, they are desperate to make this a 6-6 at the half. They really want to restabilize the playing ground.
remaining.
Oh, and
Terms down, and there goes Playboy Joe. 6-6, tied up at the half. Now I'm going to say it again. I sound like a broken record, but DIVIZE, they are rocking that double duelist combo, the same as Pro Malders. This is going to be really interesting because double duelists, they are built to succeed on the offense. We're going to have to see how well they can work on the defense.
Yeah, and I mean, now for professional Malders, on this map alone, like they have about a 47% win rate on their defense, whereas DIVIZE, they have about a 57% win rate on their attack. So, I mean, pretty substantial difference in numbers.
Right.
But again, we've been seeing a little bit back and forth, like Nets really come alive. We've seen, Caprage doing some really great things as well. So, I mean, it's kind of a gamble. Like, I really don't know. I think both these teams are such an even match with each other that it's really anyone's game. And look at it, we're at a 6-6 in the second half.
Yeah, 6-6 in the second half again. First Haven, now Icebox. This is literally as close as it could be. There's no world where it gets any closer than both teams having the exact same amount of points. It's going to be all about that pressure, all about opening that round, because I really think whoever wins the pistol round, they get that momentum moving forward. And it's going to be a very aggressive plant here. Rotation onto A. Tech finds that first kill, but Pony responds. Playboy Joe puts that Jet away. Now here comes a couple more shots out from Playboy Joe on the high ground. 2 turns into 3, and Net finds that kill to clean it up. Not quite a flawless for Pro Malders, looking clean there on the second half of Icebox.
Yeah, I mean, Pro Malders don't have a really good statistic when their pistol win rate. So, I mean, for them to kind of pick that up pretty convincingly, That's a great start for them too. So now they should be able to build themselves, theoretically, another round. Well, we'll have to see what DIVIZE want to go for. I mean, they don't have a moment where they can really spend a lot of cash, so they're just going to go for these sheriffs, right? I mean, they're just going to see what they can make work of. But they want to keep that money pretty close together. You don't want to have one person that's just kind of far off. Otherwise, it kind of messes things up. But we'll see what they got planned. I mean, it looks like a little bit of a 2-1-2. It's a major here, a little bit of a default situation, getting a feeler. But look at Sim, he's already up close again, and he's able to get that pretty easily. Not even a trade that comes in, and Tech as well, picking up a second. So now, DIVIZE have already lost 2 players within just like 10 seconds of the round.
Yeah, Cherms does find nets. You might be able to get the better weapon, but I think that was only a Spectre, or it might have been a Vandal. Either way, not a lot to work with. We see nobody's actually guarding the spike right now, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit of aggression coming through from Pro Malders. Giovanni is going to find that kill on to Playboy Joe. This is crucial. This is going to be a 3v3. Reyna alive on both sides. Different agents on either one. Cherms finds Sim. Caprage might be able to find that kill. The Viper goes for the nade, but no, here he comes around the corner. Caprage will find Cherms as well. Here's the final player, and Tech puts Inix away. Pro Malders going up 8-6. This is really looking good for PM.
Yeah, I mean, it came close. I mean, DIVIZE did some really good work. It came down to just 2 players remaining for Pro Malders. And now we see another operator going to be here in the pocket, in the arsenal now. We're on, the 3rd round of the second half. I mean, now, we saw that before in the first half. And I mean, you kind of don't know if you expect it, but maybe you do at this moment. But we'll see what DIVIZE have store for us. Nobody with full armor, so everybody's got that light armor, which is going to make a bit of a difference. They only have 1 heal that's available from Sage. They do have very slow start. They're not going to try to go for any control. They're not going to try to go for that ult orb yet either, Seth.
Yeah, I was surprised that they walled the other side of the ult orb. Usually you see a lot of players wall that and they just get the orb for free because why not? But maybe they didn't want to give away that they're putting the wall there. Maybe they wanted somebody to fall in and just kind of burn out a little bit of the clock. Only time will tell, but Sam going to be turning the corner pretty aggressively. Has a hunch somebody might be there, but it's going to be Pony who wins that firefight. One of those top fraggers we saw earlier. Going to walk right up into Caprage, who has that high ground advantage. Saw Jet's ponytail, but chooses to tuck tail and run, only having that Sheriff available right now. This is gonna be some aggression right now that Caprage maybe isn't ready for. Pro Malders, they don't really have the ability to full buy this round. And DIVIZE, I mean, they're really coming out swinging here.
Yeah, and there's nobody even committed at this A site. Like, they're completely just going for a gamble. I mean, they have their Viper from Pro Malders that's actually going to come from all the way in the back. But now we see DIVIZE. They're actually going to get some good positioning here at this site. They're going to be able to get the plant down. It's going to be a Viper on Viper action here. But I'm going to be wondering who's this going to go for. Cherms does have the advantage. Gets it very easily. Not even going to get contested. And now Pro Malders down to only 3. And I believe Tech does have a weapon available for him, so should be able to. Playboy Joe now able to go for the wide swing, takes him out. This is going to have to be working quick.
Yeah, we're really going to see some speed coming off of Pro Malders. The spike getting pretty close into its second ticking phase. You can hear it speeding up now, and that means you're getting kind of on the latter half of the spike being planted. If that explodes, of course, the attacking team does win, no matter how many eliminations you found. But Pony and Cherms able to put a couple of elims away. Tech is just guarding B site with their life, but unfortunately nobody's going to be tucking their tail out of there quite yet. Looks like everybody's going to be able to make it out of that spike explosion. DIVIZE winning that round, only 1 point separating these teams once again.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, this is just neck and neck we go. And like we said, like in that situation where you have an operator, you have to make sure that you can preserve it. I mean, we saw there from Pro Malders, I mean, Tech was really not involved in the fight at all. He wanted nothing to do with it because he just had a feeling like unless his teammates were able to get a 1 or 2 frags early on, then he joins. But if they fall down quickly, then he wants to save it for the next round. And now they should be able to. They have enough that they can work with this. DIVIZE are 1 round away from tying this thing back up, making this even closer for that, contender for the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, DIVIZE, they are really trying to get that grand final spot just as hard as the Pro Malders, but Tech making it so difficult. Going for the triple smoke strat, desperate to get out of there. Suya, however, will find that kill. The operator early. We've got almost we've got a full-blown mirror matchup here. 3v3, Reyna, Sage, Sova on both sides. Not Sage, Reyna, Viper, Sova on both sides. Sim has a great high ground advantage, but doesn't really know where anybody from DIVIZE is. The Viper's pit doing a great job just being that distracting factor. distractor, if you will. Suya now going to be going for that spike plant, perhaps, but it's really dangerous because, of course, the sound might give you away. Oh,
look at Sim!
Drops it down. Giovanni does find Sim. Now it's just going to be Reyna Viper versus Sova Viper, but this is that scenario. It's not going to come down to that technical gameplay. It's going to come down to who gets that shot first, and it is net, not once or twice, but all 3 times. Pro Malders, they're going to keep that 2-round advantage going up 9-7. They're only 4 rounds short of walking away from Icebox victorious.
Man, Net has really come alive. I mean, he's 18-11. He's 1 orb away from getting his ultimate, but I mean, I think even both these last 2 maps, he has just completely turned things around, and he's just been creating a bit of a shamble here for DIVIZE. Like, they just haven't been able to figure out anything. I mean, we were talking a lot about Giovanni before. We were talking about some different players, and even Pony, but right now, Net, for me, he's just been able to really pick up incredible opportunities for the team.
Yeah, Net has really stepped up their game here, and Tech on the Operator as well. Like I said earlier, Operators and Jet, that's just absolute no-brainer. But, I mean, just so far, amazing work from Tech on this op as well. Probably the cleanest Jet with an Operator we've seen the entire weekend. That's going to be Churms, the Marshal, trying to make the magic happen, but Raj and Sim have a little bit to say about that. Giovanni and Innings are taken offline. Tech finds another one in the form of that opposing Jet. Churms with a Marshal and a Dream, but no, it's going to be Sim up close and personal off flawless round once again to secure those double digits for the Pro Malders.
Oh man, even more insult to injury too. Like, you have 3 ults that are just locked and loaded anytime here for Pro Malders. The only thing available for DIVIZE is the Empress from the Reyna, right? And I mean, having a res available for Pro Malders, in my opinion, is probably the more important one, just because you get, another player a second chance. If Net or Tech fall down, or even Sim,
right?
I mean, you can bring them back, right? You can bring them back for a second chance and see if they can bat it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, DIVIZE, if they ever watch back on this mod, I think Innix on the Sage really not working out. Like, maybe it's just a rough game, but we've seen a serious lack of gameplay coming through from Innix as a whole. Usually the first eliminated or losing those firefights in general, just not having the kit that they've been used to the entire series up to this point. Round 18 moving in, already Pro Malders up. Never mind, 5-1. I didn't even get to finish my thought before they come through and find those 2 more eliminations. Pony going to be caught out in mid. Might be able to find Sim. You've got to find a lot more. Net picks up that final kill, 11-7. Pro Malders, this very well may be our penultimate round coming up.
Oh, mama. Now, what are we going to see? And I mean, I'm glad you mentioned it. I mean, Tech also has just been able to, find the right position, the right time. Right. And I mean, when you have that op, like I've said it before, I will definitely say it again, but he has been able to show a prime example of when you can rotate that operator as much as possible. He gets those picks middle. He gets the pick down long B. He's been able to just maneuver himself in the right moment and DIVIZE. That's where teams start to kind of crumble, because you just are on this constant guessing game.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of guessing game, nobody's going to expect Tech with an op to be up close and personal like that. Sim going to be guarding that close quarters as well. I mean, Pro Malders, they're really waiting for DIVIZE to just walk right into them. They're not going to be engaging. They will just wait for DIVIZE to make some more mistakes. I don't think Sim's aware. Somebody's right underneath them.
Yeah, I mean, what the?
Giovanni's just chilling. I don't think Sim is even the slightest bit aware that Giovanni is directly below them, but yeah, okay, wait, this is about to be really bad. Yeah, Giovanni just cleans it up. Sim is not checking corners, not looking down when they needed to most. Pro Malders losing one of their top fraggers so early. I mean, that's going to be huge here. One more kill would really help put it away for DIVIZE, but Pro Malders, we've seen them come back from 5v3s. I wouldn't be surprised to see them come back from this one. Playboy Joe does pick up Giovanni. Great kill there. Pony is going to be able to find Playboy Joe. Almost tying things up, but Tech just ruthless. The shorty! Oh, and Suya walks right into it.
30 seconds left.
Oh, see you soon, but not quite yet, my friend. Churms is going to be able to pick up that Guardian kill. Pony finds it in DIVIZE. Wow, I gotta be honest. I thought they were going to throw that one away, but they were able to find that round to win.
Oh, man, I hope we get the replay of that, because, I mean, again, like you said, I mean, that was some great work that came in from Tech. I mean, he was just moving around. He was able to have the shorty out. He was just causing a bit of a distraction. Here it is right there. You get the shot onto Inox, and then he uses the smoke. So now this player thinks, oh, maybe he ran away? Nah, I'm right here, bro.
With a shorty, nonetheless. It's not even like a classic or a sheriff, the shorty. I mean, Tech was just waiting for that up-close and personal moment and absolutely found it. Now 11-8 in favor of Pro Malders. Now, if Pro Malders win one more round, no matter what DIVIZE does to win, if they get even close, it'll force an overtime. But if Pro Malders wins 13-8, of course, we're fine. We've really got to keep an eye out, just like my little penguin buddy keeping an eye out on the ships coming in and out of here. I mean, that was a good round win for DIVIZE. Get your brooms ready, folks. Don't quite use them yet, but get your brooms ready because perhaps there's a reverse sweep coming to you in the near future.
Yeah, anything is possible right now, right? We were talking about the ultimates that are available anytime here from Pro Malders, and this is their timeout. So right now, they're using this moment where they probably want to talk over things about, do we use them? Do we do our aggressive play where do we catch these guys off guard, or do we play that standard setup, wait things out a little bit longer? So now we're going to have to see what the pep talk will be. The timeout is finally over, and now Pro Malders still have their big advantage, and DIVIZE actually going to just group up, going to be huddled more towards that B corridor, but not having anybody lurking towards A at all. So they're really just grouping up.
Yeah, they are really putting all their eggs in one basket, which, if you heard that saying before, never really a great thing to do. But here comes a Hunter's Fury from Suya. I mean, you got to be careful not to hit your own teammates here. They're all just running right in front of it. Tech being forced out of Viper Wall coming up as well. So pretty much every utility you can think of being used on B point right now. Enix is going to be the first one to find that kill. Giovanni picks up the second, or is the second one there. Playboy Joe is the one to find that, and Inox picks up a second, making a third kill. Finally coming back to life, remembering how to play the game in these crucial moments. Tech knows somebody's around the corner, but it will be Net who finds that headshot kill. Inox taken off line 3v2 in favor of DIVIZE. It's going to be all about who finds that next elimination on how far this round's really going to go.
And now the Viper Spit's going to be used. I was just thinking it might be a good moment. Tech needs to be very careful, but actually the defuse attempt's going to come through from the Viper, but they just fake it. They're going to wait to see if they can pick up a frag, and Tech's going to be able to find Pony now. The snakebite lands, so it's going to burn that clock a little bit longer. Recon Bolt not going to be used, so now Net a harder task ahead of him, but Churms able to pick up two more. And we have ourselves a score of 11-9 and in favor of Pro Malders, but that's two in a row now for DIVIZE. The timeout does not work out for the Malders at all.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't gotten your brooms out yet, folks, get ready, because that reverse sweep feeling a little more likely. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but 11-9, 2 round wins in a row this late in the game. They've got the economy advantage as well. DIVIZE, they can just keep hitting their shots here, just like they have these last couple of rounds. They really could force us into possibly a 13-11 or maybe even an overtime, but it's all going to come down to how these players perform.
Yeah, we need to see somebody step up, and I love this play from Playboy Joe. Now he uses the wall, so he blocks it off, but they hear it, but they kind of expect it just to be nobody walking through. And look at this now. Playboy Joe is going to have so much control. Now he's going to be able to cut any of the rotators off guard, but Pony binds Sim, so now they're going to be able to get into this A site. The spike should be able to get planted, but actually now we're going to see a little bit of a rotation that's coming through. They're all going to group up towards screens and also top A corridor, so they don't even have a flanker at all.
Yeah, no flankers available. Now Tech is going to find Giovanni. Pony taking a lot of damage there. You're looking at the 4v3. Oh, Churms goes down and put those brooms away, folks. Things are looking a little bit rough here. Pro Malders, they are going to win their 12th round here, coming up on round 22. This is going to be a lot of damage. Pro Malders, they've got a Blade Storm. They've got a Resurrection. The same on the side of DIVIZE. No matter what DIVIZE does here, if they want to win, they need to force an overtime.
Yeah, it's do or die now. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a scrap. They're going to have to pick up a few rounds to bring it back to that OT. And I mean, now the timeout's going to be used. DIVIZE, they're going to call this, which makes complete sense. I would have even thought maybe a little bit sooner, but now that things are right there for the series point, they need to figure out what is the plan of attack. Where have they been able to be successful? And that's the thing, is that Pro Malders, they can been switching up their game plan a little bit just here and there, which makes it that much harder for Inox to really figure out what he wants to capitalize on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really making it difficult. It's that constant change of pace, change of play style that's really giving this team a run for their money. I mean, when Pro Malders fall into their kind of consistent play styles, those are the rounds DIVIZE has started to win. But it's when Pro Malders really starts to spice things up and change that we see some great momentum moving forward for DIVIZE, or for Pro Malders, excuse me. This timeout's going to come to a close. It honestly feels a little bit just like stalling out the clock at this point. You're going to have to do... This is a Herculean task for DIVIZE to win it.
It completely is. And I mean, now, like I said, it's make it or break it, right? Like, they have to win this round. They need to scrape through, what, 3 rounds to bringing this thing back to an overtime. So, I mean, and Pro Malders really have been able to get themselves a pretty good streak. They pick up 2, they lose 1, they win 3, they lose 2. So, I mean, really, you know, if it's the trend, I mean, the trend is looking good for Pro Malders.
Yeah, absolutely. The trend is certainly in Pro Malders' favor, especially because they've got that Resurrection and that Blade Storm. We heard the Blade Storm from DIVIZE come out, but as the round begins, this is what it's going to be all about. Looks like we're going to see planting coming through. Suya is going to find that first kill there. It looks like we're having a little bit of a production error. We're going to get that figured out soon, but luckily enough, the kill feed still in sight. DIVIZE, they're winning this round 4-1. Pony with this Blade Storm in particular. There we go. Thank you so much, production. Charms is going to be coming back here. Tech has a Vandal, but you've got to hit your shots. You've got to kill 4 people. Now, luckily enough, it's going to be 4 bullets, which will be nice, but you've got to hit a headshot on every single one, and Tech is just cornered out here. Spike has been planted. There's really not much you can do. I think they've done it, Laz. I think, yeah. DIVIZE has secured their double-digit win here. Now they need to win 2 more rounds to force an overtime.
We're going to see the money here. Pro Malders, I mean, again, like, you can even see net, no cash at all. So you got Caprage that does top 5,300. Had enough for an operator if they wanted, but they decide not to go for it. They're going to just try to keep as many rifles as much as possible. I mean, they have the Blade Storm that's available for Tech, so I mean, that's going to be fine. He'll use it right away. It's pretty much like its own op. So we'll see. But I mean, right now, I mean, DIVIZE do hit that double digits. They have the ultimate variable. They have the Viper's Pit. And they also have a res here available from the IGL. So now we need to see what they can do a little bit differently. And look at this aggression. Net now, he's going to play a little bit different. And he's going to be the one player. He might be able to make the difference, but he's by himself. And he goes for a swing, and he's able to find 1 frag already. Gets revealed. Can he get the second? No, he will not. But at least he's got that intel. The res comes through now. DIVIZE, they're coming in hot and heavy.
Oh, yeah, they certainly are. Caprage certainly has something to say about it, though. I love that. A swing and a hit, dying for the cause. DIVIZE now going to be tied up here 4-4. The Resurrection available only on the side of the Pro Malders, but the Viper's Pit could make a massive difference here if DIVIZE can use it appropriately. Pushing in, going for the wall up. I love it. Going to be able to find out Playboy Joe. No more Resurrection available. 4v3. This is getting really close, but Caprage finds that blind fire onto Inox. 3v3, the Blade Storm from Tech, not able to do much, 1 knife left. The pressure is on here. It's going to come down to that next kill that really decides this, and it will be Pony who finds Caprage. Tech picks up Pony, though. The Blade Storm now gone. The 2v2 trade. It's all about whoever makes that first mistake. And it looks like it might be Tech, because Terms is waiting just around the corner. Here we go, 1 left. It's going to be Suya looking for that kill. The Spike is taking Sim, diving into the Viper's Pit. Just going for the blind fires now, desperate, but Suya finds it. DIVIZE, they are 5 eliminations. They are 1 successful spike plant away from tying things up here on Icebox and forcing overtime in our 3rd and final map of the series.
Oh, man, and it's even looking more like it's going to be a probability because, I mean, look at this. I mean, you got double Vandals, and then you got Sheriffs and a Spectre. I mean, that completely just smashed the economy here for Pro Malders. Yes, they have enough for 2 rifles and a Guardian, I guess. But right now, they need to find something. They need to get an opening, win that opening duel if they can. I mean, that's where DIVIZE, like we said, that's where they struggle a little bit. When they're down in those numbers, that's when they don't really, flourish as well. But right now, DIVIZE have been able to kind of take this last few rounds really into their own hands with their full control.
Yeah, DIVIZE, it really does feel like they're in control right now, especially with that Empress making an appearance. That can make a massive difference, You take a little bit of damage reduction here and there, it can keep you alive a lot longer than one may think. Charms is in spawn right now, I think is what I just saw, but we'll come back to that in a moment here. Sim going to be guarding B with their life. The Guardian comes through, but Charms hiding in spawn. It all works out. Net the first of all. The spike plant from Inox comes through, and there goes Sim as well. Giovanni, they're so close. Net does get res by Playboy Joe, but Sim is already gone. Giovanni finding Tech. This is colossal if you're a DIVIZE fan. Get those brooms back out. I lied a couple of rounds ago. Get ready for this because DIVIZE, they are 3 eliminations short. They are 1 spike explosion successful away from forcing an overtime here. But they've got to win this round first, and 3 powerhouse players are still left alive. Caprage able to find Suyo closer to tying things up. Caprage finds another one. Playboy Joe puts Pony away. It's a 3v2 all of a sudden. Things looking bleak for DIVIZE, the Pro Malders, but no Terms! From the back line, able to find 2 more. Net puts Terms away, but Inox has done it. That is going to force a 12-12 turnaround here. That's going to be forced in overtime. A full economic reset. It's going to come down to the next 2 rounds on which one of these teams walks away victorious.
Holy crap. I mean, I cannot believe it. We thought this was going to be easy, but man, it comes right down to the wire. And everybody just finding those openings. Everybody's just fighting tooth and nail. They are trying everything as much as possible. The whole thing is just under siege. And now we have ourselves an OT. What better way? Semifinals, map number 3. And we are going the absolute distance. Both these teams just fighting for their lives to get into that grand final spot.
This is terrifying for these teams. It really is. It comes down to the next 2 rounds. That's all that makes this difference. And of course, it can force an additional overtime, right? Because you have to win by 2. But with the way DIVIZE has been playing, Pro Malding, they really might get to show us why they're pros at what they do. Because if DIVIZE finds this aggressive of a turnaround, I will be stoked.
Oh, it's just anyone's game at this point, right? Like, I mean, anybody can make anything happen at any moment. Trade on trades, right? So now,
Standing ahead.
we're going to see the push is still going to come through. Pro Malders, they still have lots of time to push off back if they don't want to commit to this. Net actually going to lead the charge. He's going to go back now. They're going to slow things down. They got a minute left on that clock. They don't need to go too aggressive. Inox gets an easy shot, holds it well now. Going to be able to fold himself back. That's a great amount of work. That's a perfect work from him because now he's not going to get taken out. He's not going to get traded. He can get himself in a better position and still be the head scratcher for Pro Malders.
Yeah, this is going to be... This is the round that can decide which one of these teams goes as far as going up against Lemonade Stand in Grand Finals. And Tech able to find Suya tying things up once again. The Jet and Sage alive on both sides. But like I said, full economic reset. No ultimates at the ready. You get all of your abilities. You've got to find the best weapons you can have. 30 seconds are about to separate. Inox might be able to... No! Yes! Does find the kill. Antigapraj has to commit to heal in an attempt to stay alive. Running out of time, 18 seconds. You need at least 4 to plant. They're going to get desperate. They're going to have to barnstorm A in an attempt to stay alive. Here comes Inox from the high ground. No, taken out by Tech. A 2-2 trade. The Blade Storm at the ready from Tech. A successful enough round to pull it. I'm not sure there's much DIVIZE can do to keep this one alive.
Yeah, they're both grouped up now, so what they're going to want to do is they want to play together so they can at least get the trade. They can both double swing on a player. But no, it's a little bit too late, but the trades go back and forth, and Pro Malders, they survive. They're going to bring the res back.
Switching sides.
Now, going to be switched over here. Pro Malders on the match point, the series point one more time. Can they finally cross the line? Man, it's been an absolute marathon.
A marathon indeed. We are on round 26 moving into the end of this. These players are just putting everything they can, all of their eggs in all of their baskets. Sam going as far as buying an operator, no shields. This is a high-risk, high-reward feast or famine moment, and it's all going to come down to who finds that first elimination.
Really switching things up too, so they actually, Pro Malders have their Sova getting the drone in middle, going to get some really good intel, and they're playing very passive, so Net actually gets caught with a recon bolt, so now this is where DIVIZE can get this site, they can get the spike planted, and it's going to be a 5-on-5 retake situation here for Pro Malders. Giovanni able to actually take down the Viper, so not going to be able to have any snake bites, not going to be able to have any Viper walls, going to block things off. Suya able to push on through as well. My god, Sep, they want to keep going, they are not done yet.
No, Les, I mean, DIVIZE is taking this as far as they possibly can. We'll need an additional 2 rounds. Sim finds 1, but DIVIZE, Inox finds 2. It's going to be that Sova Capraj left alive in a 1v4. We will get the clip of a lifetime if Capraj turns this one around, but the spike has been planted. They know exactly where. They're waiting for the defuse, but it will be Giovanni. That forces additional overtime. We are going into 2 extra rounds. We're going to round 27 here. Trying to decide which of one of these teams goes into grand finals.
And it just seems like everybody's doing the right things, but it's just coming down to these like 2v2 situations, 2vx situations, and a timeout's going to be used now from DIVIZE. And I don't disagree with this. I mean, they might as well, because again, this can slow down momentum. This can allow them to make sure their information is crystal clear, because now things are absolutely high on the tension. And I mean, Pro Malders, they haven't really called as many timeouts, but DIVIZE are really trying to just be, again, extra clear on what they want to go for, especially with it being a tie game again.
Yeah, a tie game again. They're caught out so many times in a row, but Pro Malders, I feel like they've just been scraping their way and constantly remaining on top. DIVIZE, they get it tied back up. They usually lose the following round, but if DIVIZE can break that curse right here, right now, I mean, that would just be above and beyond. They could win this 15-13. They could take it 28 rounds and walk away victorious. But who knows? Maybe we get a 1-round win for each. We go into extra overtime again.
It always makes it tough, too, because, I mean, now the sides are switched, right? So Pro Malders now get to be on the attacking. So just when you start to get a bit of a groove on the thing, on your one side, sorry, it gets switched. So it's not even like you get another opportunity. So now DIVIZE is going to be back on the defensive side. Operator going to be in the hands here for Suya, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, I'm a little bit curious why Pony doesn't want it. But maybe there's a little bit of a plan. Maybe they want to play Perdiego. They have the recon bolt, but actually does get denied. Tech going to be able to find that. They probably expect just the one player, but Pony does get a trade, so that's a good response back. Able to take down Sim, so now can kind of reconfigure their setup. But Net, he's already in the kitchen. He's cooking something up.
Yeah, and Cherms might get caught out here if he's not careful, facing the wrong way. Net might find an execution kill. It looks like Net chose not to leave kitchen. Yeah, the Vipers are they're getting up close and personal with another. Cherms probably about to have their head taken off their shoulders because Net in the corner. No, it's Cherms who walks away from the fight victorious, 33 HP, 3v3 right here, right now. Playboy Joe going for the plant on B. That's going to force a full rotation from all the survivors on the side of DIVIZE. Spike's been planted, but in this scenario, that does not net you additional credits because it is an equal playing field in the overtime, as many rounds as it needs to be in a row. But Pro Malders, they've got the health advantage here. That one bullet may make all the difference.
Retake situation. No ultimates available. Now it's going to be one player. The Jet's going to be coming all the way through Long B. If he can find this at the right moment, the right time, he might be able to be the difference maker. Gets one. The trigger discipline just misses the second, but it will be back. And DIVIZE now going to be taking this lead. The defuse should come through. And now they have themselves at the match point, the series point. Whereas it always felt like Pro Malders were there, and DIVIZE were the ones that were always just swinging and clawing back.
Switching sides.
I love a good underdog story, and at this point, that's exactly what DIVIZE feels like. We are getting close to players dropping 30 bombs, and like multiple players. We're looking at Ponies at 27, Tech at 29, Net at 25. This has just been an absolutely absurd game so far. We're coming up on round 28 right here, right now.
Oh, man, Sep, I mean, it's hard to say because now it gets switched again, right? Now it's the DIVIZE are going to be on the attack. Pro Malders going to be on the defense. And we see now the attacking shifting is going to be changed, right? They have more presence in middle. Sim going to be in back. Gets one, gets two, and he's able to maybe get three. Yes, and there's no response back at all. Pro Malders and have been able to sweep this, and now they put themselves back in another tie game opportunity. DIVIZE, what are you doing?
This is going to be the highest scoring game I've ever seen. I've never seen a game go into triple overtime, but look at that. Here we are jumping in 14-14, resetting the clock once again, swapping sides once again. These players refuse to go down.
I'm just so torn. Like, I mean, it looks good. DIVIZE, they have the right, the right setups, and then all of a sudden, like that round, it kind of just looked like a gimme, right? I mean, Pro Malders, like the fact that we saw Sim just pushing down into the corridor, and he's able to get two big flanks like that with nobody watching. This is where mistakes can happen. These mistakes cannot have DIVIZE. It just completely collapsed with one player making a big play.
Yeah, this has been absurd to say the very least. 205 eliminations right now across the board. And between all 10 of these players, they have found 205 kills. That is just insane. But Pony gonna make it 206. Able to find Comprage there. Tech gonna be the next to fall. Getting close to 210 there. Things looking danger close. It's gonna be Sim finding Giovanni. A 3v3 again. How are we always in this 3v3 scenario? And it's gonna be Sim finding Cherms as well. Pony has that operator, but the damage has been done. The spike has been planted. Pony picks up Net, but 1 HP. It's gonna be a 2v2. Like I said, 1 HP difference right now. Pony finds Sim. Playboy Joe from above. 1 HP versus 134. And the Blade Storm just can't do it. Playboy Joe finding that second kill of the round. 15-14. What is this going to be? We're on round 29 right now. We're coming up on round 30.
Woo-wee. This game is just taking the absolute most urgency. And honestly, just when you think a team is on the kiss of death, I mean, no, they get reversed. I don't know. And they keep things going a little bit longer. I mean, now DIVIZE, again, on the backboards. This is where Pro Malders, I believe this is their third time where they've been a match point and series point, but they just cannot cross it. And I mean, they seem to reply back when they need to, but this is the moment where they need to pick up something, but no tech. He's not able to get that shot. Pony completely dashes. He just sick maneuvers. And now Sim able to help him out. And he's going to be able to put himself back. Pro MALDERS now have the player advantage. Not for long, though. Inox is going to be able to push on through. They're going to go for the spike plant right away. The wall's going to come in. And it's actually the push that comes in. Pony, though, he gets completely punished for it.
A bit of an ego peak from Pony there. I think he thought there was only one player on the other side, but no, there was actually a couple more. So that is going to be just 3 more down. The player advantage currently in favor of Pro MALDERS. We're gonna see what they bring to the table. Inox does find Joe. Terms picks up Sim. Folks, I hate to say, but this is really looking like we might go to another one unless Caprage has something to say about it. It's going to be down the board. Absolutely insane. 221st kill right there, and DIVIZE has done it. We are not done yet. We are going all the way to round 31. 220 kills on the board across all 10 players. These folks refuse to go down.
Oh man, the opportunity to close the gap, and every single time each team, they don't allow it. They want to keep this fight going, right? There's the composition, just the composure from both these squads. It's just, you can't even measure it right now. They just seem to reply back under the pressure. But I mean, it's just, when does that pressure give in, right? I mean, we're at 15-15, and this is going into the grand finals. Like, this is still a semifinal match here, Sep.
Yeah, to think that this isn't even the grand final, like it's sure acting like one. This really feels like we are watching these folks go for all the marbles, but no, they're going for a chance at all the marbles up against the powerhouse team of Lemonade Stand. I want to say it all comes down to this, but we've got at least one more round. We are in quadruple overtime right now. For those of you who may be joining us, this is 15-15, round 31, taking place right here, right now, and you can feel the tempo has slowed way down. As these players, nobody's pushing in, nobody's ego peaking, but Giovanni about to get a very rude awakening if he chooses to turn that corner. Looks like he's not going to be turning that corner quite yet. Nobody really knows what to do here but Pro MALDERS. Looks like they might be going for that push into B. Slow comes through, it's able to find them a great smoke, helping them get a little bit of a one-way. Running out of time, only 45 seconds left on the clock. Somebody's got to do something one way or another.
We absolutely need somebody to assassinate that, like somebody on this team, right? But again, like one player just starts to show up. Sim, Peekaboo, hello, how are you? I'm going to be able to pick this up, and oh, he gets him dismissed, but he's not able to get through in the coverage. DIVIZE, they respond back very well. Now the spike going to advance itself towards this Haze site. You have Pony that is close by, the fake plant, 18 seconds remaining. Pony might be able to deny this, no, but Playboy Joe gets the edge of the smoke. Spike's going to be planted. We're at the 3-3 situation.
The 3-3 again. We just cannot get away from this. The Sages, the Sovas, and a Jet versus Viper. It's going to be coming down to who finds these crucial eliminations once again. And these always happen so quickly. We see the spike has been planted. Pro MALDERS going for a full-blown defensive hold. Caprage finds one. Playboy Joe finds another. And Pro MALDERS, they may have secured their spot in that positive position once again to give them their 4th attempt at game point, match point. Yes, there it is. Playboy Joe finds that 3rd kill. Probably just going to go for the fancy res as they always seem to. Get Sim back online. Pro MALDERS, they are 5 eliminations away from finally bringing Icebox to a close.
Oh boy, and I mean, you look at the side here for Pro MALDERS, everybody is close on with like kill-death ratio, right? You have Tech at 29, Net 27, and everybody else is kind of that low mid 23s. So it's not even like, again, it's like one player is the, you know, the Hercules of this group. It's everybody's contributing, and it's almost the same thing here a little bit from DIVIZE, but I mean, Pony is 11 frags ahead of his other teammates. So this is where we need to see something in DIVIZE. I mean, this is a moment again to bring it back to another overtime where somebody absolutely needs to step things up.
Yeah, somebody from DIVIZE just pedal to the metal. They have to kick it up to 200% at this point. They've got to get some of that non-sponsored gamer liquid in their bloodstream once again. Net tries to interrupt the spike plant, but just can't find at least where they need to be firing. Giovanni with that first opening frag onto Net. Really a great way to kick this fight wide open. And DIVIZE, they've found that numbers advantage. They've really got to find one more to secure they can take that lead, though.
Now the player advantage still here for DIVIZE, and Sim and Tech both are able to now isolate and take them down. This could be it. This could be Pro MALDERS. This could be all the moment. The snake bite's going to come through. That's going to land right on top of the spike. Another one. But oh my god, it's down to the one-on-one. Pro MALDERS They should be able to have this in time, and they are going to be able to advance themselves into the grand finals with a 17-15 victory.
A round 32 victory, 17-15 Pro Malders by the skin of their absolute teeth. Win Icebox. Don't even look at us. Get to that leaderboard. We got to take a look at how many kills and deaths these players have, because this is easily the furthest scoring game I have ever seen.
I wish I could say the same, but I'd be lying. But you know what? Again, for a semifinal game, I think it definitely hits the mark as well. But, I mean, what an incredible scoreline. My God, 17-15. I mean, both teams were just fighting for their lives. Nobody wanted to give up at all. But, I mean, you got to give your hats off to professional Malders. I mean, I gave them that slight edge, but I had a good feeling DIVIZE were going to be putting up a fight. I didn't think it'd be like this, but you got to give your hats off to them as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, 239 eliminations down the board. Only one player not dropping at least a 20 bomb. That is absolutely beyond absurd, but it has been done. Pro Malders have secured their spot in the grand finals up against Lemonade Stand, which will be coming at you guys in just a couple of minutes. But unfortunately, that was my last game here at the Clearly Frame Advantage. That has been happening this weekend. So before I go, I do want to say a huge shout out to both Laz and Cup of Frag for joining me, Flippy Bits in the back line, as well as Connor and Jay. We could not do what we do without each and every single one of you guys. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. TGS, thank you for having me. I hope I can make you guys proud, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't go far. There is still a grand finals coming up next. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other, and be right back here in just a little bit for grand finals.